Hello everyone. This is video 2 of extent report. वीडियो 1 में हमने देखा था कि एक्सटेंट रिपोर्ट के लिए कैसे कोडिंग करना है, कैसे बेसिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन लिखना होता है. वी टॉक्ड अबाउट थ्री डिफरेंट क्लासेस लाइक एक्सटेंट स्पार्क रिपोर्टर, एक्सटेंट रिपोर्ट्स एंड एक्सटेंट टेस्ट. बट now if you want to implement the same logic in real time structure, like जब आप real time project में work करोगे तो you will have multiple test cases, not a single test cases, right? आपके multiple test cases होंगे तो आपके एक पैकेज होगा, पैकेज के अंदर आपने अलग अलग टेस्ट केसेस बनाए और वो टेस्ट केसेस के अंदर आपको एक्सटेंट रिपोर्ट जनरेट करना है. Because real time में we create XML file, testng.xml file, and when we run that testng.xml file, वो हर एक टेस्ट केस को सीक्वेंस में रन करेगा एंड देन द रिपोर्ट विल बी जनरेटेड. सो लेट्स सी द प्रोसेस. ओके, पूरी प्रोसेस हम देखते हैं. सो द पैकेज आई हैव ऑलरेडी क्रिएटेड. ओके, सो आई एम क्रिएटिंग वन टेस्ट केस. आई एम क्रिएटिंग माय फर्स्ट टेस्ट केस. गाइस, हम इसमें क्या करेंगे? विल क्रिएट थ्री टेस्ट केसेस इन टेस्ट केसेस पैकेज. टेस्ट केस वन को टेस्ट केस वन को मैं डिलिबरेटली पास करूंगा. टेस्ट केस 2 को will simply make it fail, and टेस्ट केस 3 को स्किप करेंगे. राइट? सो तीनों पॉसिबिलिटीज हम तीनों अलग अलग टेस्ट केसेस में देखेंगे एंड फाइनली वी विल रन using testng.xml. right? So I am creating first class test case number 1. Let's say compare header text. Okay, in this test case, what exactly I want to do? I want to compare this particular header text. मैं सिंपली चेक करना चाहता हूं कि ये जो हेडर टेक्स्ट है इट इज वेलकम टू गेटर्स गैलरी. देन मुझे टेस्ट केस को पास करना है. ओके, एंड इफ इट इज नॉट देन टेस्ट केस विल बी फेल्ड. सो आई क्रिएट माय टेस्ट मेथड. Okay, now we need to write a code in WebDriver, so we need to define them globally. Okay, now the problem will be there. जो हमने कॉमन कोड लिखा था एक्सटेंट स्पार्क रिपोर्टर, एक्सटेंट रिपोर्ट्स एंड एक्सटेंट टेस्ट, वो जो कॉमन कोड है, राइट? वी टॉक्ड अबाउट दिस कॉमन कोड. सो विल हैव टू राइट दिस कॉमन कोड इन ऑल टेस्ट केसेस. राइट? ये जो कॉमन कोड है मुझे हर एक टेस्ट केस में लिखने पड़ेंगे. सो इट्स नॉट अ गुड आइडिया बिकॉज आप ये हर एक कोड, जितना भी कोड मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा है, अगर वो सेम कोड मुझे हर एक टेस्ट केस में लिखना है तो ऑटोमेशन का कोई मतलब देयर इज नो मीनिंग टू create a script, right? So better we can do one thing. We can create one common class and we'll simply make it parent, and in the parent class we'll define this code, and all test cases will be the child classes. जितने भी टेस्ट केसेस बनाएंगे वो चाइल्ड क्लासेस हो जाएंगे, और ये जो कॉमन कोड है वो जो क्लास में हमने उसको स्टोर किया है उसको हम पेरेंट क्लास बना देंगे. Okay, so the structure is going to be like this. These three test cases, they all will be my child classes. And I'll create one class file that is called base init class, and this will be base init class will be the parent one. Okay, and that extent report code will be over here. So you don't need to write the same code again and again in all your test cases. Yes, Vicky. Yes, no, that part we have already seen, right? देखो, लास्ट सेशन में मैंने आपको वही बताया था कि वो एक एक क्लास में तो आप उसको लिख ही सकते हो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, यू कैन राइट इट, बट देर इज नो लॉजिक टू राइट डाउन ओवर देयर, राइट? बिकॉज अगर आप हर एक कॉमन लॉजिक हर एक टेस्ट केस में लिखोगे तो कितना लंबा कोड हो जाएगा. बेटर यू कैन डू वन थिंग, यू कैन क्रिएट अ सेपरेट क्लास एंड वेर यू कैन स्टोर ऑल योर कॉमन कोड. जैसे वेब ड्राइवर को डिफाइन कर दो, सब कुछ आप कॉमन कोड एक बेस इनिट क्लास में क्रिएट कर दो, एंड यू कैन call them right? Chalo dekhte hai. Let's see that how to handle this. So I'm creating one package and the package name is base package. Okay, and I'm creating one class inside this base package, that is base init class. Fine. And in base init there is a method called public void startup method or setup method. You can give any name, and there is a method called tear down method. Fine. And all three classes will be defined public as well as static. Okay, and they all will be defined in the, sorry, this is my extent reports. Okay, and same way extent test. Guys, if you don't write null, that is absolutely okay. Okay, if you don't write null, even though that reference will point to null, so no need to write null. अगर लिखोगे तो भी कोई problem नहीं है. So let's import them. Okay, and can I define WebDriver over here? WebDriver driver. Okay, all right, fine. Okay, so this is my test case. This is my test case, and this case will extend base init class. Base init class. All right. Now this is my common code. So I'll copy this code. I will copy this code. This is my common code, right? So I'll copy this code and I'll paste it in setup method. In setup method. Okay, fine. And this path we have already defined. Remaining information is already there. Okay, and here I can write down driver is equal to new Chrome driver system dot set property, or you can use WebDriver manager to launch the browser. So basically this is my common code and I am just writing in a setup method that is created inside base init class. So guys, my Selenium WebDriver, yeah, this is the file. All right, okay, driver dot manage dot 5 seconds. Fine. So guys, the setup method is ready, right? And over here, can we write report.flush? Report.flush. Sorry, not reports. Hold on, guys, hold on, just a second. This is report is a dynamic, okay, and the name over here that is reports, okay. So let me simply change to report, okay. So here I can write down report dot flush. गाइज आई एम रिपीटिंग अगेन, जिन्होंने पहला सेशन पहला वीडियो नहीं देखा है वो एक बार देख लेना, ओके और उसके बाद ये वीडियो देखना, बिकॉज आई ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन दिस पार्ट इन द प्रीवियस सेशन, तो ये वीडियो एक बार देख लेना। ऑलराइट, सो द क्वेश्चन इज दैट ये प्रोसेस पहले कैसे रन होगी, okay, for that I need to write the annotation, okay, because this is my test case and over here I have defined @test and I want to run this particular method before all test cases, जितने भी तीनों टेस्ट केसेस है उससे पहले मुझे ये सेटअप मेथड को रन करना है, okay, so over here I will define annotation as before suit. Before suit is the annotation and after suit is the annotation for tear down process. All right. So now when you run any test XML file, okay, I mean when I'll create particular XML file for this module, so this particular method will be executed first, then my test, all test cases will be executed, and in the end tear down method will be called because that is defined in after suit, okay. So चलो इसमें code define कर देते हैं. I need to launch the browser. Browser is already launched, sorry. Now I need to load the URL. I need to load the URL and the URL is, this is the URL, driver dot find element by dot xpath dot get text. I want to get the text of this particular web element, so I am just going to copy the xpath and we'll store the xpath in a variable. We'll store the text in a variable. This is my xpath and string welcome text. This is header text, not welcome text. Header text, all right. Now can I write if condition over here, okay, I will write down if condition. In if condition I will mention, right, तो यहाँ पे ये जो define किया हमने, पहले कोड लिख देते हैं गाइस, उसके बाद हम लोग will simply define the extent logs. So if header text dot equals ignore case, this is the text. Guys, I'm deliberately making this test case as past, okay. Else okay, if it is past, then I simply want to print the message header text matches, right? Header text matches, and over here I want to print system.out.println header text do not match, right? So in that case I simply want to make it fail. Test case को मुझे fail करना है, so testng will throw that this test case is failed, and when the test case is failed I want to print the message in testng control. All right, now let's implement the logic. जो हमने log generate करने हैं, तो log generate करने के लिए ये report जैसे generate होगा तो मुझे messages print करने पड़ेंगे log. So I will write down taste is equal to report dot create test, okay, create test, and create test I will define the name of my class. I will define the name of my class. Fine. But if you don't want to write this hardcode name, right? ये मुझे manually लिखना पड़ा. But if instead of that, if I want to get this name like dynamically, okay, so this is the code. You can write this dot get class dot get simple name. Okay, get class dot get simple name. आपको ये इस तरह से define करना है. So this will, I mean, the name of your class will automatically be over here, and your in report compare header text will be displayed. वो देखेंगे guys, आगे देखेंगे. चलो, let's implement the log logic over here. Test dot log status dot info, right? And that information message is what? URL will be launching in some time. So जो भी मैसेज आपको प्रिंट करना है, you can write down URL launched. Header text will be comparing soon. Okay, and the same part, if this condition is true, guys, if this condition is true, then I want to simply make it pass, right? And along with that, I want to print the message, and that message is what? This is the message. All right, and if it is fail, then I want to define that part in a log, and the status dot fail, and the message should be header text do not match, right? Perfect. So guys, test case 1 is ready. Okay, now let's create test case 2. I'm creating test case 2. In test case 2, I want to log in with one username and password, and whatever the text is there over here, I mean, welcome text will be let's say Unicode, and I simply want to compare if it is a Unicode, then test cases passed, else test cases fail. But I want to make it fail. मुझे ये test case को fail करना है. So welcome text, compare welcome text. Okay. Again, the same logic, public void yeah guys, see, we are not able to get that option get. The reason we have not extended base init class. So you need to extend base init class, because everything is defined in base init class. Okay, our driver is defined in base init class, extend spark reporter, extend reports, extend dates, everything is defined in base init class. So driver.get, and this URL is, this is the URL. Okay, now I want to log in first. Okay, so I want to click on log yourself in. This is link text. Okay, then I want to enter email address and password. Name attribute is there, so I will write down driver.findElement by.name. All right, So can I copy this and paste this for password? The name is password, right? Okay. Keys dot enter. All right. So after login, I want to wait for 2 seconds. I want to wait for 2 seconds, and then this is the text, right? This is the text. There is a class is greet user, so I can write driver dot find element by dot class name. This is the class name dot get text. Guys, usually I don't recommend anyone to use class name because you know class name generally use at a multiple places. So I usually don't recommend anyone to use class name, but यहाँ पे मुझे पता है कि ये class एक ही जगह पे use हुआ है. That's why I'm using this. String welcome text. Okay. Now can I copy the same code, Control C, Control V, okay, and this is my welcome text, and I want to compare it with Unicode. Okay, welcome text, welcome text. All right, fine. So the code is ready, and we can also write down this log implementation. Control C, Control V. See, the benefit is that you don't need to write the class name over here, right? Automatically it will fetch. And again, every time, there's no need to write down this URL launch because fine. User will be logged in. This is after login. Can we say that after login? Welcome page after login. Okay, and yes, the remaining part we have already written. Okay, so this is my test case number 2, and test case number 3 is what, in which I simply want to skip my test case. Skip test case. All right, and extends base init, because base init is a parent class. All right. So now I simply want to make this particular test case skip. So can I write throw new skip exception? All right, and we can write down test cases skipped. So test.log status.info, sorry, status.skip. We can say that test cases skipping. All right, the same message. All right, fine. So guys, we have three test cases and one test case, that is compare header text, that is pass, this is fail, and this is skip. Okay, now I'm just going to create one XML file. Okay, I'll create one XML file in resource package. Okay, or else I can do one thing. I will create one package with the name runner. Okay, and in the runner package I'll create XML file. Okay, so final execution dot XML, and you can define all these three test cases, and let's run them and we'll see the output. Suite name, that is extent report test. Okay, then test name, first test is header text, compare header text, classes, class. Okay, and the class number one is, that is test cases dot header text, test cases dot header text. Fine, so this is my test number one, test number two, test number three. Compare welcome text, compare welcome text, skip test case, right? All right, so guys, we have defined three test cases in testng.xml file. Okay, so we all set for execution now. Okay, so when I run this test particular XML file, all three test cases will be executed in a sequential order. Okay, and after that extent report will be generated. So what will be the sequential execution? I mean, initially it will execute that before suit part, that is defined in base init class. Okay, so when you run this final execution .xml file, before suit will be executed, and yeah, all the initialization will be done. Okay, then the first test case, that is header text, will be executed, then compare welcome text, and third one is a skip test case. And after execution of all three test cases, your after suit annotation method will be executed, right? So let's execute, and when we'll check the reports. So the URL is open, username, password. Fine, all three test cases have been executed. Let's go and check. See, we have executed three test cases. One is pass is 0, two failure. Hold on, there is something wrong over here. Alright, this is header text. Let me cross check this header text. Control V, right? See, there is something wrong over here, guys. Hold on. All right. So let me copy this X path and let me write down over here. Mm, fine, 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 fine. Okay. So if I run this test XML file once again, and we'll see the report. Fine. And execution is completed, I guess. Yes. Okay, so one is pass, one is fail, and one is escape. Okay, now if you go and check the HTML report, if we check the HTML report, all right, see that? Compare header text is pass, compare welcome text is fail, skip test case is escape. And you can see the different messages over here. Okay, यहाँ पे इसके messages भी आपको दिखेंगे. You can see the time, you can see this, like log events, you can see the number of test cases, this message we have printed in environment. So we started 1:23:27 and we ended 1:23:55, right? So one is passed, one is failed. So guys, this is video number 2. Okay, in video 3, along with this part, we'll capture the screenshot and we'll see that part in extent report. All right, thank you.